Hey, Leo, and welcome back to the Journey of Self. I am your intuitive tarot reader as well as your host, Brandy, and this is the journey. I'm just going to get up and open the window a little bit for some of that light. I hope all is well with everyone during this Cancer season. Now, I'm going to give my little public service announcement for Cancer season, as I've seen a few things, and it seems as though Cancer season makes people really get into their feelings, right? Deep emotions. Now, as far as we are all concerned as a collective, it is this. Cancer season makes us feel things that we don't necessarily want to feel. We have old feelings that come up, old patterns that are illuminated. Now, these things are brought up in us so that we can change them, so that we can look at them, so that we can assess them and put the poison where it belongs, if these are negative feelings. Also, it helps us kind of reassess our worth and get back to self. This is not really a time, if we handle it properly, that has to be horrible. This is a time to plant seeds. All the signs that I've done and everything that I've seen with all the signs, because I did all the signs this month, so no one goes unattended to. But what I've seen is that we're all kind of leveling up on a soul level and in our ability to manifest. Now, Cancer season is supposed to be a time to sow seeds. I personally, as I said to a couple of the other signs, I've seen at least, I think now the number is at 4 physical fistfights. I've seen through with adults, by the way. I want to make that clear. They weren't children, they were adults. And I've seen the results of these fights. They didn't just go over without a hitch. I've seen people have to pay the cost for these events. Some of them, it's going to, at the least, stretch out to about a year of recovery. And then others, I've seen them actually, they're going to pay dearly. They're going to pay for years because of allowing their emotions to kind of get out of control and to not be in tune or in check with themselves. So I want everyone to realize that this is a time to sow seeds. Be careful of what you're planting. Understand that poison fruit only comes from a poison tree. You being the tree, you being self, you have to just kind of really acknowledge, what's going on inside of you. And this is not a time to lash out or to get other people to take responsibility. It's a time to just assess your own feelings and to move on from there. So the next 6 to 18 months coming to 2020, we're going to see the results of these seeds that we planted. This is supposed to be a time of beauty. This is supposed to be a time of getting to know people and self on a deeper level. This is a time when your outside and your inside can actually match. And as we know, those of us that are here interested in the journey of self or manifestation, which is what this channel specializes in, we know that once your outside reflects your inside, that you are able to manifest whatever it is you want, as above, so below. Correct? So this is supposed to be a great time. As the eclipse came, eclipses always bring the energy of change. Some of you may want to focus. I know everyone's not into astrology deeply, but some people may want to focus on their north node as well as their south node, their future and their past, in order to reconcile these things in one's mind to be able to move forward in wholeness. As I always say, karma is going to show up in about 6 to 18 months, depending on where you are in this energy. And when she does find us, being the tax auditor, as I like to describe her, let's just make sure that she finds us all well. Anything that you don't want repeated, don't say, no matter how adamant you feel about it. When someone comes to you and it seems as though they want war, ask yourself, what are you fighting for? If you do not, don't do it. Before you speak, ask yourself, What is it that I want? What do I hope to gain from this? And what am I fighting for? I would never discourage anyone from standing up for themselves. But if you are demanding respect from someone else, just make sure you are respectful. Okay? And don't be alarmed if you're feeling feelings of loss or sadness. This does come with this season. Cancer season is known to produce depression at times. And especially with eclipses, a lot of us do not like change. So that can also cause depression or a feeling of loss or being out of control. That is my spiel for Cancer season. Okay, guys? That's all I have to say. Listen, anything that the universe, your situation, your life, your heart, your soul is pointing to, your logical mind even is pointing to in your life that you have been deeply feeling for a while now that you need to get rid of, this would be the season to get rid of it. Because the reason why Cancer season is so difficult for some of us, a lot of us, right, is because there are energies in Cancer season that you will not win against. They're going to get their way. There are energies. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about energies that come with Cancer season that are going to get their way. Not in a negative, only to make you better, only to make you your higher self. However, I don't want to see anyone get dragged, whether physically, emotionally, or psychologically. So whatever the universe is trying to get rid of, whatever you know instinctually that you need to let go of, let it go, please. Just let it go. Even if it's just for the next month and you just try and do a test run on how much better your life could be, please do that. I don't want to see anyone get dragged because let me tell you, this is Cancer season, but it is also dragging season. Okay? I'm done at that point, guys. Let's get into the reading. All right. Also, too, I would like to tell you guys that because I did do every sign, go ahead and check out everything. If you're looking for your 7th house type of energy, go ahead and look and see what sign is there and look at that reading. There's going to be something for you. That is your house of partnerships as well as career. There will be something there for you as well. As I said in the beginning of this reading, all of these readings are about leveling up, all of my July readings. So I know some people are fearful of Cancer season and worried. I'm not worried. I actually know exactly what this season is about. It's going to be a beautiful season if you allow it to be. That's the key. Surrender. Allow. It's not always about what we want. Sometimes we have to allow things to happen. And most of the negativity, the struggling, the force, let that pass you. Let that pass you. You know, let people know, listen, miss me with the BS. Miss me with the drama. If it's not about fun, what feels good and progress, I'm good on that. So the first card that you guys have out, as you know, I do the meditative portion of my reading where I meditate on some cards that I have in my Isis Oracle deck, as well as cards from the Fairy Tale Oracle. This row here, starting with the abundance of Sothis, is what Spirit is trying to offer you this month in order to help you along your way. So this is the first card out. This card is about abundance in all things. If you guys have been feeling restricted in particular areas, do not be alarmed. That is going to change. You are going to see things released, even in areas of physicality, whether it's health, money, relationships. This is going to change. So with that being said, Leo, go ahead and relax. Even if things look really bad, just don't add to the drama. Don't add to the poison. Don't add, don't compile the negativity. And when the smoke clears, there are going to be people that are going to want to apologize. There are going to be people that want to come back. There are going to be situations that you've gained with little effort because you allowed yourself to let go of. And especially if you're dealing with health issues, this is not a time to engage in negativity. Spirit is trying to bring you healing and abundance of all things. The next card that we have out is the Divine Sun Child. This card is about shining bright and allowing your light to shine. Your divine legacy is trying to be born now. This can also show up in the 3D. As I said in the beginning of my public service announcement, this is a time to sow seeds. This is a time to get the outside to match the inside. So if this is happening on a soul level on the inside, divine destiny, divine legacy, things of that nature, best believe that that is going to show up in the 3D. The next card that you guys have out is the Key of Life. Okay. This card is about fertility. Once again, card is kind of mimicking this one. So I'm sure there are some great things coming in. Okay. This card is about fertility in projects, in children. If you're doing any type of humanitarian services, light work, it is going to work. This is about wholeness and fulfillment. The last card that you guys have out is the Pyramid of Light. The title of your reading is Doing It and Doing It Well. Just know that people are going to see this light shining from you, and that is when they may want to come for you. I said this to somebody the other day, and I'm going to say it again to you guys, because I've been getting my family and my friends ready for this season, because I don't want to see them dealing with consequences for the next 6 to 18 months. What do you think Beyonce says when people say she can't sing? Right? I'm pretty sure she just ignores it. It's like not even a thing in her mind. One of my family members says, I think she drops an album. Exactly. This is that. Having a high vibration, not allowing people to feed on your energy, not allowing people to knock you down a peg. As I always say as well, I'll say this again, it's just something for you to remember. It's kind of a catchy thing, a little vulgar depending on who you are. I always say it because, I also have a dark sense of humor, but I say masturbation, okay, but being baited by someone, never okay. In other words, don't let people draw you out. Do not let people draw you out. This is not the season for that. This is not the time for that. Do not let people draw you out. Okay? I've been seeing this in all different types of environments, especially in the work environment. Just seeing this with people around me, where everyone is thrown together for the purpose of making money. You're hanging out or spending time, even if it's a lunch break, or working next to people you would otherwise not associate with. Right? So that's a good place for drama. But like I said to other signs, if you don't want to be looking for a job in the next 6 months, let's not. It's best to let people show their cards and be who they will be and say what they will say. This is not a time for ego, to have to prove to someone you said this and you better not. No, this is not the time. This is the time to find out who people actually are. And the best way to know someone is to see how they deal with their stress. Some of the things that are coming up in people is drawing out their triggers. It's making them lash out. You never know anyone until you see them deal with stress. That's a psychology secret. Remember that in all of your relationships. You never really know someone until you see them deal with stress. It's kind of like a deeper expression, like you never know someone until you live with them. Now, this is what Spirit is trying to offer you to keep you on your way. This is what Spirit is trying to remind you of. Everything that you've been working on and everything you've been hoping for, as far as healing, doors opening, abundance coming in, rising like a phoenix. Once again, abundance, high vibration, shining, making your mark on the world, all that stuff is coming to you. And here we go with the blockages. Let's talk about it. The first card that I have out for you is Little Match Girl. This card represents a blockage. Okay. Trying to figure out. Hold on a second, guys. Just trying to figure out where I put. Okay. Don't worry about it. I got it. So this card Little match girl, it represents choice, right? It's going to be extremely important this month, choices. This card talks about a source of love within you that is going to create warmth in your life. This card is about hope, death, the afterlife, as well as compassion. This card is also about being able to warm yourself with maybe feelings from the past that were happy if you are not experiencing any at this current time. Correct? And then the next card that we have is the Rumpelstiltskin card. This card is about secrets. Not only is this card about secrets, this card is very dynamic, okay? I don't know if anyone knows the story of Rumpelstiltskin, but he pretty much was like some type of magical creature that liked to use trickery. And what he did is he convinced this girl to spin wheat into gold. She had the ability. And he kind of got her into like a weird contract that she couldn't get out of. And then he kind of gave her a way out at the end, and he asked her, if you could find out my name by the time, the sun sets, I'll set you free. She had a really hard time finding this magical creature's name, Rumpelstiltskin, right? In other words, you guys are going to have to really read your contracts this month. You're going to have to really understand who you're dealing with. That's why it's a time not to kind of outburst and be the center of attention, but to kind of sit back and to allow others to show their hands. Because if you're doing things that involve abundance, you kind of really want to know what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, correct? And that can only be achieved through watching and waiting. Watching and waiting, sitting silently. I'm not saying to be a shut-in or to be a hermit, but in a way I am asking you to take on the hermit energy, because the hermit is okay with his place in the world. He seeks knowledge, and when he finds it, it is well with his soul. He doesn't look to change it or to alter it. He's simply looking for the information. He's seeking answers. If you have someone who has that hermit energy in your life, that is going to be a trusted advisor, someone who always leads you down the right path, someone that could be a little bit different in age, maybe a little bit older, well established. I would say this is a good month, if they are available, to talk to this person and to really get their insight on whatever you need insight on. The first card out is the Death card. Second card out is the Moon card. Third card out is the Seven of Wands. Last card out is the Devil card. Let me get one more for you guys. Like I always say as well, call the devil by his name. You guys have never heard me finish that with anything except call the devil by his name. The very act of calling the devil by his name lets him know that you know exactly who he is and what he is capable of, right? Christians say, call the devil by his name and he shall flee. I like to use it as a concept. The idea of looking at a very thing changes it. But with that hermit type of energy, it's just looking, understanding, and moving on. Accepting it for what it is, not trying to change anything. If you could do that this month, you'll be fine. Why am I saying that? Because people are going to come to you and they're going to profess their love. People are going to tell you they want to come back. They've changed. People are going to tell you that they no longer want to be involved. And then next month, or by the end of the month, they will have changed their mind. If you just sat and listened, you can assess more properly next month. Don't say anything. Don't react. Don't be like, yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be in my life. Because by the time they get ready to maybe apologize, or if you think they're wrong, they may never come to that conclusion on their own, because they may be, a little afraid of being wrong or being called out. First card out is the Death card. This card is here to represent change. Everyone deals with death differently. Remember, we just had an eclipse. This eclipse's reach is far. The energy was already taking place prior, and it's going to resonate and take place after. Everyone deals with death different. In the original Rider-Waite death card, you see like a skeleton on a horseback. You see a priest. You see a child. There's also an older child. And then you see, I believe, someone dead as well, right, in the card. All of these people have different expressions on their face because everyone deals with change, death, differently. Correct? With that being said, just accept the way they deal with it. Like I said, you never know someone until you see them deal with stress. Change is stressful for most people. This month, I'm asking you to surrender to it and fly by. Clarifying the death card is the Sun card. That's you. There could be a new child on the way as well, because I'm getting that strong, because this is my card of childbirth as well, and the Sun card does speak of new arrivals, unexpected pleasure, wonder, and also children. And also, Leo, it is your card. And then the first card out, clarifying the death card. What did I say? You need to take on that hermetic energy. The hermit is simply going through the world, getting his affairs in order, right? He can be a secret advisor to you. This is a wise person that is inspirational. This is what you could be. This is a mentor, a friend, a teacher. This is what you could be to people. But I would abstain from advising people with hard advice. With like, you should do this, you should do that. Maybe this month you just simply help them see all sides of the coin, see all sides of what they're dealing with, and let them make their own decisions. Because like I said, as we get out of this season, people's minds will dramatically and drastically change. We are all on our way. The Five of Swords is here, as well as the Seven of Swords. Like I said, the Secret card came out, as well as the Rumpelstiltskin card. The Pyramid of Light card came out as well. That is a card that talks about energetic vampires and keeping yourself clear of that. There can be someone in your midst that's willing to say and do whatever they want to do to win. They're having a hard time with change and they want to get what they want. You'll know how that resonates. And when you see that, yeah, I'm sure you're going to have some reaction. But I'm asking you to not be so outward with your reaction. Also, too, I need you to guard your intellectual property. Guard your ideas at work. I'm not saying not to share them, but I'm saying to be careful with whom you share them. If you're having a situation, it is time for strategic thought to get out of that situation, but it is not time just yet to act. Here with the Seven of Wands, there seems to be that you guys are moving on, but you may actually have to take out time to defend yourself. But in this Seven of Wands, there are people here learning on the top. There's something to learn. The Hermit is also present, mentor, teacher, inspiration. So look for answers. Don't look for actions. Like, I'm not saying don't look at the actions of others. I'm saying don't look to act so quick. Look for answers. Then we have the Moon card. This talks about seeing a side of yourself that maybe is not the most pleasant. This is where we talk about shadow. A lot of our shadow aspects are coming up this month. A lot of us are dealing with things we'd rather not have to deal with or rather not have to look at, so that we can become better and we can level up. There is something that you guys may have to walk away from, and it obviously is of an emotional level, because we have the Moon card here, which talks about deep emotions. This card also represents Pisces as well. That may be relevant to you. As you know, I don't really dwell on signs because energy is fluid. and no one is the same person all the time, right? So here we go. We have the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups always walks away to find the 9 and the 10. Correct? And it's hard. This is a card that reverts back to the Strength card because it takes strength to walk away from something that once brought you emotional fulfillment. So there may be a sense of leaving something behind, or someone else may be feeling as though they would like to leave your relationship with them behind. I want to say, as I do my readings, guys, as you watch this, if this is not sounding like your life, then leave the parts that don't really resonate. I shouldn't be telling you anything that you don't already know, but what I should be doing is helping you get through energies that you're already trying to find your way through. So I'm not predicting that anyone's going to break up. What I'm saying is there is a sense of change, deep change happening. You guys need to take on a deep thought type of meditative, looking for answers, accepting them when you find them type of energy. There is some type of sense of conflict, competition, strategic thought, but also a sense that people are willing to do undermined things this month to get ahead. There's a sense of you leaving something that once brought you emotional joy, emotional fulfillment. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the next card out, clarifying the Moon card. The Knight of Pentacles is slow and cautious. He's steadfast. He is a strong worker, but oftentimes he can be materialistic and somber. So there could be someone that is moving away but not saying anything, and it's confusing you. Now you're beginning, 7 of Pentacles, to look at your investment and see what's growing, what's standing still, if it's working, if it's not. You're beginning to assess your situation. There's something here to do with reciprocation. There's something here to do with reciprocation as well. Giving and receiving. I feel as though you're beginning to ask yourself, or someone is beginning to ask themselves, are they getting as good as they're giving? Moving on to the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Wands, we have the Page of Wands. Now, the pages are always going to be a beginning of a journey. You guys may have just achieved something and you're still learning, or there's something to be learned from your achievement. But as the cards have said in the past, there is a sense that there is someone or something that may be trying to hold you back and knock you off your achievement, or knock you off of your path. This Page of Wands speaks of travel. It can speak of a different avenue. It also has something to do with career. Some of you may need to further your learning in your career, undertake more responsibility, because the wands are always about work to be done. That's what the wands represent. So here with the 7, if we go to the 8, that's about information, correct? And the Page of Wands, I feel like, is bringing that 8th wand. So there is more information to be gathered. You guys may have to travel for work. You guys may be traveling where you come to some type of awakening, epiphany. Sorry, I dropped a card. Awakening, epiphany. This could also be someone that is trying to come toward you, that is bringing new excitement into your life. The Page of Wands. However, the Temperance card is present, and a lot of people think that the Strength card is the opposite of the Devil energy. However, it is not. Temperance card is. They go together, those two cards. The Temperance card is here asking you to assess balance and equilibrium in your life, to assess your agreements and your compromises. Are they equal? Are they legit? Once again, back to the 6 of Pentacles. Once again, back to the 7 of Pentacles. Not only that, but this is also about being careful to measure how much fun you're having and what and what the energy that you're actually indulging in, what it could lead to. Right? So you may be dealing with someone who is a dreamer, makes you feel dreamy, brings excitement into your life. However, ask yourself if this energy is able to be grounded and if it's going to be good for you in the long run. You don't have to walk away, but you might want to give that energy a little bit less attention. The Page of Swords is also present. This card could have something to do with children. However, this card is about guarding, protecting, feeling a little bit defensive. But there's also an immature element to this card. And as we see here, right? As we see here in this particular card, we see that this boy is keeping this demon, this figure, shadow figure at bay. But he's also a little cocky because his tongue is sticking out and he's taunting it. So with that being said, if you've gotten a recent promotion at work, your career is going in the right direction. If you've recently gained a relationship that really makes you happy, it is not time to flaunt this. There also may be someone that is holding information back from you on purpose. So in other words, when I said at work, if you've gotten a promotion, you need to still continue to learn. Do that and do it well and do it diligently. Be cautious with that Knight of Pentacles energy. Be cautious. While you may be very enthusiastic to take on this new responsibility, make sure it is something, as we say in the army, that your rank can handle. Because there is someone, something, some type of energy around you that may not want to see you successful. And if you get too cocky, you're going to lose your footing. Like I said, someone may be holding information either on you or from you on purpose just to be petty. Let's clarify this devil energy. Okay, as you see, the cards are flicking real crazy. Yep. The devil energy is here, clarified by the Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, the Nine of Swords, and the Strength card. Let's get into it. The Ace of Swords is always going to be a new train of thought or a new idea. It can also be a truth that is spoken. Here with the High Priestess energy, it is about strength and unity. It is about a keeper of secrets, right? The High Priestess is the keeper of secret knowledge. It is about inspiration. There is something that you could be beholden to. In other words, there is something, a choice that you have made. Because the devil energy is always about a choice. Something like someone in power at work, someone that may be trying to manipulate you, whether through sex, manipulation, power, secrets, knowledge. I'm even getting quid pro quo, I think it is. In other words, you do something for me, I'll do something for you type of energy. You guys are going to be extremely intuitive as well. Here with the moon energy as well as the High Priestess energy, you guys have the ability to be extremely intuitive. If this situation is calling for balance, an assessment of, to balance it out, healing, you have the ability to make that happen. Or else Spirit wouldn't have asked you to do it. Let's be clear. There is something that you're going back and forth on in your mind that you may need to just simply let go of, because it could be running you in circles. It could be snatching your energy. The Strength card is interesting because the Strength card is not about strength of body. It's about strength of character. There's a sense here that there are some skills that just come instinctual to you. And that may be why you feel as though you have this in the bag. In other words, there are people who are just naturally talented in certain things. And this could very well be you this month, Leo, being naturally talented in certain ways. But don't forget the details. And that's it. Now it hit me. Why? Because that expression, the devil is in the details. That's it. That's it. Do not forget the details. Cross your T's and dot your I's this month, Leo. Because even though you have these skills that just come to you instinctually, you may have the confidence. You also need to use your intuitive intelligence, because with the Strength card here, that also represents that as well. And this is about power over your environment. You have what it takes, but you're going to have to be cautious because there are other people who may not be as skilled. However, never underestimate the other man's greed. Scarface. How far are they willing to go? Here with the 5 of Swords, they're willing to go pretty far, and maybe even in an underhanded way. I don't know why I was saying that to you in the beginning, because I kind of tailor my public service announcement for the month. I tailor it to each sign. I kind of say what comes to me when I'm dealing with that sign. I have a few things written down, basics, and then I tailor it. And I was saying to you in the beginning that people may want to draw you out. Don't allow yourself to be baited, right? Because this is one of those cards, the 5 of Swords. When I see it in this particular African American tarot, it often makes me feel as though someone took it too far, but also that someone may be laying a trap for someone else. So it's going to be time for you not to allow yourself to be baited. There could be some triggers that come up as well in reference that could be used. In other words, someone was holding some type of information for a petty reason. They may decide to pull that information out at the most opportune time, which is going to be the most damaging time to you. And it may bring some triggers. It may make you 5 of Cups. Look at what you're possibly capable of losing, or what you've lost, things that have happened to you in the past. And when we do that, we start to treat it and live like we're in that moment again. We start to treat the present like we're in that moment again. We kind of relive the trauma. Don't let that person do that. Turn around and look at what you do have, where you have come, and what you have achieved. Because the message for the 5 of Cups is not, oh, you're depressed, you're crying over spilled milk. No, the message of the 5 of Cups is to turn around and look at the good in your life. There are still 2 cups standing. Turn around and look at that. That's what you're being asked to do. This month, when somebody tries to call you out, bait you, set a trap, don't even take it to heart. Just understand they're only coming for the top spot. It really has nothing to do with you personally. They want something that you have. And this could also stem from you changing your mind, walking away from someone, and then they get petty, they get kind of vindictive and revengeful. That could also be that. Listen, if that happens, don't feel any sort of way except, yeah, I was right. That person wasn't worth my time. They didn't really care for me, only if I was with them. And that's not true love. True love, you wish someone well with or without you. You just want them to be happy. So if that's a relationship, or if that is even a work environment, fake friends, whatever it may be, the 4 of Wands is also present. This is about stability, celebration. However, the 4 of Wands is one of those energies where there is still work to be done, because the Wands are always about work to be done. Bottom of the deck, the 4 of Coins. You guys may be afraid to lose something, but in the 4 of Coins energy, believe it or not, it's a reminder of excess once again. Either you may overspend and you already have what you need, and you may overspend, or you may take on too many hours and you already have what you need. No need to work yourself to the bone. No need to spend like Ebola until you're not. This situation could involve another fire sign. The situation could also involve an earth sign. Could also involve an air sign. Let's just put that out there. We already talked about Pisces earlier, and then Death card Scorpio, right? So these cards here are talking about calculated risk here with the King of Pentacles, right? We're talking about calculated risk. This person may be rather calm and lethargic. However, you could also have someone in your midst that could help you, guide you through, someone who can see the bigger picture this month, someone who's loyal, someone who introspects. But you may have to ask them for their help because they're not going to butt in because they're that respectful of other people's ability to make decisions. Excuse me. Then we have the Judgment card. This card is about resurrection. This card is about making peace. This card is about new perspective, cleansing, final decisions. This card is also about incorporating a business. So be very careful, like I said, about intellectual properties. If this applies to you, your ideas, and look over your contracts extremely well. Okay? The King of Pentacles understands the duality of life. The ebbs and the flows. He only makes calculated risk. Calculated risk are not risk at all. Honestly. Use your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right, doesn't smell right, look for more information. Okay? Okay, Leo, this has been your general and your spiritual reading. Let's see here. I will pull okay, so I'll pull some spirit message cards. I was thinking about what I wanted to pull. I think I want to pull some spirit message cards. I'm going to leave these to the side. It's going to be a good month, guys. Remember, Spirit is offering you so much abundance. It's ridiculous. Right? So even if you have a contract that you feel like, oh, I have to take it, it's the best I'm going to get. No, actually, this reading is coming to you to tell you to look at the fine print. And when you find something in it that doesn't sit well with you, let it pass because there's something better. There's something better. All you have to do this month is to watch. As Christians say, as it is said in the Bible, watch as well as pray. Right? Don't have your head in the clouds. Don't think you got this in the bag. You do. But there's some details that are yet to be revealed or details that need to be observed and accepted. There may be some things that need to be walked away from as well. Okay, so first card you guys have out is Soul Power. Always remember, you are a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. The next card out is Receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it is time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow and the tides, the art of giving and receiving is a natural law and order of the universe. I like that. Yep. This is the end and the last card, and I think it speaks exactly to what we were talking about. It's not only about being right. In all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pitted against each other, In the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who was right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went the greater length to consider the other person's perspective. Thank you, Leo, for spending this time with me. I hope July finds you well. Have a great rest of your day, and namaste.